So in this lecture, we've taken two perspectives, the perspective of the behavioural sciences and the perspective of philosophy of action. We started by thinking about instrumental action and the question, what's the relation between an instrumental action and the outcome or outcomes to which it is directed? Now, although this sounds very much like a philosophical question, and we can give a philosophical answer to it by appealing to intention, as we saw, it also allows us to consider a very important distinction between habitual and goal-directed processes from the animal learning literature, and that distinction allows us to challenge a very standard idea in philosophy that we can answer this question about instrumental actions and outcomes, or goals, just by appeal to intentions. The existence of habitual processes implies that that answer either needs to be revised or perhaps rejected entirely. So far so good. But in starting with this question about instrumental actions and outcomes, goals, we're kind of not exactly doing philosophy of action as it's usually done. So if you're a mainstream standard philosopher of action, you're quite likely to start by thinking about what Frankfurt calls the problem of action, what distinguishes your actions from things that merely happen to you. What we saw is that philosophers also tend to answer this question by appeal to intention alone. So an issue for us to think about further and to take up in future weeks is whether the existence of habitual processes in particular, and more generally discoveries from the behavioural sciences, might challenge the standard philosophical ideas about how you go in answering this question about the problem of action.